Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and today is last video of the day. It seems like Kamala Harris is lying again, which is not too surprising there, but she seems to be talking about the border and how the border is not necessarily at a crisis right now. Well, I think I beg to differ, because we have a lot of evidence and even statistics showing that there is at a huge crisis at the border, and their open borders have caused this massive problem. Texas is having an issue, Arizona is having an issue, Florida's having an issue, and they all have these great concerns. And I don't. She's still. I don't think she. I think Barnes don't think she thinks that the American people are stupid, which they're not. We see these things happening, and it's not good. And the American people don't want to deal with it. Now, without further ado, take a look at exactly what Kamala Harris has been saying about the border.
Since we're here in Texas, I want to ask you about the border. Would you call the border secure?
I think that there is no question that we have to do what the president and I asked Congress to do. Is the first request we made. Pass a bill to create a pathway to citizenship. The border is secure, but we also have a broken immigration system, in particular over the last 4 years before we came in, and it needs to be fixed.
We're going to have 2 million people cross this border for the first time ever. You're confident this border is secure?
We have a secure border in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration. But there are still a lot of problems that we are trying to fix, given the deterioration that happened over the last 4 years. We also have to put in place a law and a plan for a pathway for citizenship for the millions of people who are here and are prepared to do what is legally required to gain citizenship. We don't have that in place because people are playing politics in a state like this and in Congress. By the way, you want to talk about bipartisanship on an issue that at one time was a bipartisan issue, both in terms of Republican senators and even presidents.
Yes, Kamala Harris. I don't know about that one, considering the fact that it is not secure by any means whatsoever. We have a huge issue at the border, and so much so in other states as Arizona and Texas I think even Florida are shipping migrants to other states, and now those states are having problems due to that issue because obviously they support those type of policies. And I think they're incredibly ignorant because the people see what's happening and they don't want to deal with this. They don't want this massive immigration going on. Now, we have a lot of crazy news, exactly what's going on in particular with this whole immigration issue and what is to be expected. So, now that we have CBP releases July 2022 monthly operational update. This marks the second month in a row of decreased encounters along the southwest border. While the encounter numbers remain high, this is a positive trend, and the first 2-month drop since October 2021, said CBP Procurement Secretary Chris Magnus. In May, CBP launched a digital advertising campaign to dissuade irregular migration by targeting legalized smugglers to lure vulnerable into dangerous journey that ends in the removal of death. That danger was highlighted in the recent takedown of a deadly human trafficking smuggling network based in Guatemala, responsible for the death of Guatemalan woman who died in Texas in April 2021. These are among many actions we're taking to reduce irregular migration and dismantle the human smuggling operations that put these migrants in danger. So, now, we're going to see this here, but we're going to just look at the statistics here. Because we have the international travel and trade. One of the CBP's core mission objectives is to enhance the nation's economic prosperity, including through the facilitation of lawful trade and travel. CBP to continue to protect America's national and economic security by facilitating legitimate trade while rigorously enforcing U.S. customs laws and regulations. Now, so all these things that we have, there's been a massive increase to July 2020, which was when obviously President Trump was in office, and they increased by 5 million, which was 459%, and then now it's at 11 million to 965%. These have caused issues in accountability and all these other problems that we see here. Trade stats, seizures, which is, I think, also going to increase as well. But now we have this issue here. I was going to do this video separately, but it would be too short of a video to actually really do it here. So yes, and as a continuation, I will, as a continuation from the article that I did yesterday, I will put this into this perspective as well, where confirmed man who beheaded mother in front of horrified neighbors is an illegal immigrant with expired visa. On Thursday morning, a young mother of two was beheaded in front of the horrified witnesses in San Francisco, California. The suspect, identified as San Jose Landera Solano, severed his ex's head with what was described as a samurai sword. Solano was a violent criminal, has a violent criminal past, NBC Bay reported. The victim, who had not been identified at the time, had a restraining order against Solano, according to the outlet. I also apologize for saying this guy's name. I really don't want these guys getting really that much coverage for this. So that will be. But I'm trying to cover this because I want you guys to understand on what is really happening. Now, obviously, I couldn't have said his name, but that was a mistake on my part. I wasn't thinking it, so I will try my best not name these type of people, obviously, because I don't want them to have this limelight in society. On Sunday, TH Media identified the victim and reported that the suspect is an illegal alien. The young mother, who was brutally beheaded last Thursday, has been identified as a 27-year-old Karina Castro. Castro was beheaded with a sword just before noon last Thursday in broad daylight as shocked neighbors watched. The attack took place in front of her apartment building. An earlier report stated she was 25 years old. The alleged killer reported cut off Castro's head with a sword. He left her head under the car that her body was in. Cops swarmed in minutes after to find the grisly crime scene. Shortly after, Landeta returned to the location with two friends and was promptly arrested. Is the father of Castro's 1-year-old toddler. Castro has also had a 7-year-old daughter. The Santa Monica Observer is reporting Landeta was in the Lake County illegally, claiming he came to the United States from Venezuela 10 years ago on a tourist visa and never left. Every time I saw her, I would beg her, don't talk to him, leave him, and it seemed like the more I dealt that, the more she would see him. Castro's father, Marta Castro. What a tragic story. Yeah, so this is also due to the fact that this woman was killed because of the mere fact of the border policy that's been happening here. Then we have here, latest migrant, obviously this is July 2022, but this is not really all that far, guys. This stuff has been going on. Latest migrant tragedy in Texas highlights crisis along deadliest migration land route. More than 1.2k lives have been lost during migration in the Americas in 2021. Among them, at least 51 children, according to a new data published by the International Organization for Migrants, Missing Migrants Project, MMP. At least 728 of these deaths occurred on the United States-Mexico border crossing, making this the deadliest land crossing in the world, according to the data. The dangers facing people on the move throughout the region revealed by the data were highlighted on June 27 with the discovery of 53 bodies in an abandoned tractor trailer in San Antonio, Texas, and the hospitalization of 16 survivors. This tragedy increases the total number of deaths so far in 2022 to 493, and it serves as a reminder of the underreported migrant deaths that take place at the United States-Mexico border and throughout the Americas and the families left behind. The number of deaths on the United States-Mexico border last year is significantly higher than any year prior, even before COVID-19, said Erdogan Violets, author of the new IOM report on migrants in the Americas in 2021, yet this number remains an undercount due to the diverse challenges for data collection. Despite the ongoing pandemic and an increasing number of people from Latin America and the Caribbean are undertaking dangerous irregular journeys, mobility restrictions enacted in response to the pandemic and not yet lifted may also have led to a funnel effect, driving migrants with limited options to increasingly dangerous routes. Many deaths recorded on these routes are from countries with high numbers of asylum seekers. At least 137 Venezuelans have died in transit in the last 18 months, in addition to 108 Cubans and Haitians. However, the largest demographic in available data on migrant deaths in the Americas is unidentified people. The countries of origin of over 500 people whose deaths were recorded since 2021 are listed as unknown. Our data shows the growing crisis of deaths during the migration in the region and the need to strengthen the forensics capacity of the authorities to identify deaths on these routes. We cannot forget that every single number is a human being with a family who may never know what happened to them, said Vieles. Despite commitments to save migrant lives and prevent further deaths and disappearances in the global compact for migration, and despite relevant obligations under international law, the situation on the ground remains extremely dangerous for people on the move in the Americas. In the process declaration of the International Migration Review from MIRF, held in May 2022, the United Nations General Assembly reaffirmed the collective responsibility to preserve the lives of all migrants and take action to prevent loss of migrant lives. In this context, remain deeply concerned that thousands of migrants continue to die or go missing each year along perilous routes on land and sea in the transit and destination countries and distant countries. So, there you have it. We have all these people that are having these issues and the huge migrant tragedy that's happening. Now, let's take a look at all the other problems that's going on across the country and how many migrants are actually crossing. Take a look.
Roadway in southern Mexico, a seemingly endless stream of people making their way on foot towards the United States. Men, women, and children walking through pouring rain and sweltering heat. Organizers claim there are nearly 15,000 migrants in the caravan, but authorities in Mexico estimate it's closer to 5,000. Robinson Reyes is making the desperate journey and says the current policy, in which migrants process their paperwork in southern Mexico rather than at the U.S. border, is not working quickly enough.
Lieutenant Oliveras, who I met down in the Del Rio sector when I was down in Uvalde area and by the border, by the Rio Grande. I met him. He's sent me pictures every now and then, videos that they've seen. Here is some video. I mean, look at this, the number of people and also the number of children that are coming across. He sent me one that had a little boy who looked like he was 3 years old. And some of them are coming.
Yeah, that doesn't look like it's a very controlled now, does it, Kamala Harris? You need to stop lying, because you're lying to the American people, and you're having an injustice of what's truly happening in this country. It is not controlled. It is a huge, massive problem. We have actual evidence of a whole bunch of migrants coming into this country, and it's causing issues. We have a woman dead because of it. We even have a 10-year-old child raped because of this. You are the cause of all of this damage that's happening in this country, and it's time for you people to take responsibility. All I'm doing is giving you guys the opportunity to look at what I'm showing, and you guys had to make the opinions for yourselves. That's really all I'm doing, and I know you people will come out and say exactly what's going on, or at least think on what's going on in the country, because all I'm giving you is the evidence, the tools to make you guys think. The rest is up to you. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.